What's up everyone, I'm Adam from FWCI Collector's Edition on camera today because I'm going to react to a video that went up today, which I feel is really relevant, and I also feel like this is a good opportunity for people who watch my reviews to get a better idea of who I am and what I'm trying to do in the YouTube space and other things that I'm up to as well. This is a channel called Nostalgia Reboxed. I don't recall, I recognize this guy's face, so I think I've seen some videos of his in the past, but the title of this video is Looking to Review Action Figures? Watch this. And it just went up like a couple of days ago, so I'm gonna give this a look because you're watching this on FWCI Collector's Edition. This is my action figure review and general nerd channel. But I actually have a reaction channel called FWCI Etc., which I've had for about 5 years. It's about to hit 30,000 subscribers or something like that. And it's a fairly typical reaction channel, more long form stuff than any like TikTok reactions or anything like that. I do more like TV shows and movies and like, you know, stand-up comedy specials, like full length ones and stuff like that. So it's something that I've been doing to the point where I can make more revenue from YouTube than I would make an hourly wage working in the kind of industry that I was working in previously, so that's why I decided to go full-time with it. And the reason I want to do the figure channel is, first of all, I'm a monstrous nerd at heart. And I know that nerdy means like intensely focused like interest in a very specific subject, and I'm getting more and more into action figures as the years go on. I've been collecting properly since about COVID. That's when I really started to get back into it in like a really big way. But I've had the collector bug my entire life. It was basketball cards, it was action figures, it was CDs, it was DVDs, it was posters, it was magazines, it was Pogs, it was Tarzos, it was Oddbods, it was anything that you'd get in a bag of chips in the 90s. Football stickers, the lot. So I have the collector bug and I have the nerdy outlook towards things, and that's why I launched this channel so that I've got an outlet where I can, you know, really get into the weeds and talk about the stuff that I want to talk about. And one day, who knows, reaction videos might no longer be allowed. I don't have any control over that, so it would be nice to have a backup. But I've been slowly building this channel for the last, year and a bit now, I think. And it's been a wild journey so far. In fact, what I might do is when I finish this video, I might go back and have a look at the first figure review that I uploaded on the channel, which I'm sure is going to be a horrible experience for me, and then do a quick comparison to the latest review I did, which I think is the Juggernaut from the Gamerverse thing. In that time, I'll explain the changes that I've made in my own process as well. But I'm interested to see what this guy has to say, so let's have a look. What's his name? We're going with Rebox. He'll probably introduce himself. Let's go.
You want to make videos about toys? Well, let me tell you. Awesome. Welcome to the family.
Sweet.
This is my second channel, my main channel. I have over 100,000 subscribers on it in less than 3 years.
Damn.
I watched tons and tons of things on the internets on how to be better at the things I was trying to do. And that was just like how to do YouTube, how to do thumbnails, how to do whatevers that wasn't even action figures. So
yeah, hell of a freeze frame. Okay, yeah, that's exactly how I got started doing it with my reaction channel. Was I immediately went and paid for YouTube Premium because I was watching tons of videos and I was just losing like almost like an hour a day, I feel like, in just watching ads. So I just paid for YouTube Premium so I could just skip in and out of any video and skip ahead at my absolute fucking leisure. So it's a very crucial part of the whole process, is just watching videos and trying to learn what you can learn from people that have done it before.
Find good lighting within the existence of your Adobe abode.
There it is. Oh.
Open the windows, let the light shine in, and then you're gonna probably have to shoot from the side, because the problem here with lighting is it needs to either be behind you or you need to have a bunch of it on your figure.
Yeah, lighting is really important. I'm still adding more lighting options to my thing. I just recently bought 3 of these like circular push lights. They're supposed to clip underneath there, but you can sort of stand them up as well. But they're all remote controlled and they're all connected with this one remote control. It's kind of weird. I haven't even had a chance to toy around with those lights yet, but lighting is really important. Sitting here recording this, I got like a tripod spotlight LED thing over there. I got one of those over there. I have a lamp directly in front of me. I've got a downlight that's over on that side of the room. I've got a clamp over here, which has got light on it as well to give the green screen a little bit. Like, you need lighting. It's a really, really important part. And that's not even for just talking about photography, which I'm also now learning as well. But just for me, using a green screen, the difference between having good lighting and having bad lighting is complete. It's a completely different animal.
The most important thing that you can do to make content is to do what makes you happy. Who would have thought? No, does that?
Okay, I'll hear what he has to say about it, but thinking about my reaction channel, that was always the plan. There's a lot of content out there that I've never seen that I would love to see. And where my channel was kind of gone over the years, I watched like all the Harry Potter movies, I watched a bunch of TV shows like, you know, The Boys, I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I watched Schitt's Creek, Ghosts, Taskmaster, things like that. It's really gone more towards like British stuff, and that's what my audience wanted. And, you know, I did my due diligence, I had a look, and there is just a mountain of British content out there for me to react to of these comedians that I'm becoming a really genuine fan of. So I don't have any problems doing reactions in terms of like staying happy and motivated. The editing is the real drag of the whole experience. But even last night, I watched a TV show called Yonderland purely, it's not going to do great views, which, you know, that's a whole different conversation. But it's just a purely wholesome, fun, enjoyable show. And I had a great evening watching a couple episodes of it. And if I can do that and get paid for it, then, you know, that's a pretty good outcome for me.
Mr. Cringe Boy like myself, that's fine. Who gives a crap?
Cringe Boy?
Get over that.
Why is he Cringe Boy?
Just make a lot of stuff. Make like 5-10 videos before you even publish, just so you know what the heck you're doing.
I completely agree. When I started the reaction channel, I don't know where I got this information from. And now that I look back, I don't know if this was mathematically correct, but I think by adhering to it, it really did help my channel. I heard a metric, or a number anyway, that if you upload one video a day for 30 days, that will be enough to get your channel like in the algorithm. So before I uploaded anything, I made like 15 reaction videos. I think I did more and a bunch of them got thrown away, but I still just like made tons and tons of them. And then as I started uploading as the month went on, I just kept making more and more and more. So I was like days and days ahead at certain points, but it also gave me the chance to, you know, have a bit of freedom with editing and trying new stuff, because this was my first batch of videos. And I think that worked because I did start to see some immediate sort of results, especially after that 30-day mark. And I also got tagged in some video to say that I had uploaded more reaction videos than like, or I was in the top 10 number of reactions uploaded in that month, which it was a little bit alarming to get tagged in that when I had like 12 subscribers. But, you know, it was what it was.
Something that allows you to edit these things to whatever degree fits your style. How about that? There's a bunch of software out there, a lot of free.
What are these here? Submagic, Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is free? I did not know that. I use DaVinci Resolve, and I just paid for the full studio version because I like to have all the extra like filters and transitions and tools and stuff like that. Just, you know, have it as an option. Final Cut Pro, Clipchamp, Luxury Pro. Yeah, there you go. I recommend DaVinci. My understanding of that program is it's very high level. You've got full HD exports. You don't have to have watermarks on it or anything like that. It's really, really robust. You can do fucking anything on there you want. And the reason that it's free is because the company that owns it, I think they're called Blackmagic, they make the mixing desks and stuff like that. So I guess the strategy is get everybody on their software, so when people that do go on to, you know, do other things in a more professional capacity, they will still be more inclined to stay with that company and start spending money on their mixing desks and shit like that. But I have never had a problem with DaVinci other than some, you know, general user issues, but I can't recommend it enough.
We could make a whole video about what software to use. I'm going to say whatever's free and you feel comfortable using. That's iMovie on your phone, that's CapCut, that's what's the big one? DaVinci Resolve? But you probably should edit, okay? There are people that don't edit, but you should probably edit. That's a big piece of advice. What's something else important to do? Think about...
Yeah, oh god, get your finger out of your ear. You don't know where that finger's been. Yeah, I do a lot of editing, probably too much, but I don't know, it's just a part of my cadence. Like, if I say something incorrectly, like if I'm saying, get your finger out of your eye, I'll just stop and be like, get your finger out of your ear. And then I know when I'm doing the edit that happens. But that's just me. I think everybody is different, but if you do start editing, my advice is look for efficient ways to edit. There's so many tools and small things that I've learned over the years on DaVinci that I'm like, oh wow, I can do it this way. That I could just click that and it'll do the same thing as doing all this other fucking around. So there's a lot of quality of life features on DaVinci that, you know, get familiar with them because they can really make a difference, especially if you're editing every single day like I am.
Well, have fun is second. Number one is what's making you unique compared to everybody.
What's making you unique? So I guess what makes me unique is definitely my personality, the way I speak, maybe the fact that I'm from Australia, although we get a lot of Australian action figure reviewers these days. I feel like there's some really good ones out there. Justin's collection, I think, is one of them. I've recently updated my camera, and you would have seen on this channel my photography style is pretty distinctive. I guess that makes me a bit unique. I think I need to just lean into more silliness and having fun with my reviews, I think. I'm a very joyous kind of person, so... And if I'm looking at this from the perspective of my reaction channel, I think what makes me unique is I'm pretty good at admitting that I'm wrong about stuff. Like going into something with the wrong outlook and things like that. Like, I imagine there might be some people out there that might edit those kind of things out and feel like they're going to get roasted in the comments for having the wrong. I really go into things with like just a bull in a china shop mentality, to be completely honest. In fact, if you watch my Harry Potter reactions, you'll see my absolute ridiculous bias towards Slytherin. That definitely made those unique.
Now that might be the way you have fun. That might be the comedy that you do. It might be the edits. It might be the whatevers. But please stop blowing out the microphones with distortion. It's not funny.
Yeah, who's doing that?
Like, is it your humor? Is it whatever? Is it that you're like super analytical and you love numbers and you love details and you like, this is a 97.2 degree rotation on the shoulder? I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, that's a really hard question, I think, for anyone to answer. Like, what makes you so unique and what can you do with it? I don't know. I feel like doing voices, thinking on my feet, being funny is probably where I'm at. And doing action figure reviews is a very repetitive kind of medium as well, because you're always getting new figures to review. You're always talking about articulation. You're always talking about it. So I guess you got to really lean into the running joke sort of thing, which is something I feel like I could probably do. I have a lot of running jokes on my reaction channel. Just ask anyone who knows about the Michael Jordan baby body bobblehead. They will all tell you.
You love about action figures, make that your thing. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to not show your face. And then you can also do what other people do, where you use an action figure as your avatar, or do like a VTuber thing, and whatever. What is the style that works for you? Because
I like that idea of having an action figure avatar. The VTuber thing is a bit weird though, because you've got like AI voice thing, like voice programs out there now. I would honestly feel a little bit not skeptical, and it would depend how invested I was in the channel. But I don't know if I'd be able to get overly invested in a channel where you never see the person at all. You just have to assume that this voice you're hearing is definitely a person speaking in their normal speaking voice, just being themselves. And it's hard to gauge that without a kind of visual thing. And some people don't want to put their face out there, and that's entirely up to them. But yeah, I like to at least see the creator with my own eyes, just to feel like, okay, I know they're a real person. Great, let's go.
Or not. It's a lot for my brain to process right now, because I'm just kind of off the cuff here, shooting the shit. I said shit. What I mean to say here is that, like, it's about being
Cringe boy.
This video yesterday.
Fuck you for being such an idiot, boy. I don't know how I feel about this video at all. And I don't even want to edit that footage because I didn't like what happened. I did not like the end result. But how do I know the end result if I didn't edit? I don't know. I just didn't enjoy the journey. Today, feel a little bit better, a little more excited, a little more caffeinated. Different time of the day, and all that stuff makes the difference. I was also more inspired to make the video today than I was yesterday. I felt.
Yeah, that's pretty true, especially in the early days of creating content. You really want to give everything you do a proper chance. There have been videos that I've recorded since then that I've gotten through and just been like, no, that was terrible, I don't want to do that. And with reaction videos, it's a little bit more charged because nobody is watching a reaction to something that they don't like. So if you watch a movie or something and you don't like it, you need to be a little like polite, at least at the very end. You can't just rant about how shithouse it was or anything like that. But for people just starting out, absolutely don't. If it's going to get 30 views, that's only 30 people that saw it. And the upside to that is at least now you know, all right, these things didn't work in this video. I need to take that into consideration and make a more informed decision next time. And that is the beauty about making YouTube videos. You've got infinite number of second chances to get it right. And, you know, it's up to you how much you use of that.
But don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes allow you to learn and move on to the next thing.
Facts.
Find a way to make your next video a little bit better than your last one. That's like adding sound effects, music, edit styles, jokes, whatever the thing may be. Just get better at it each time you make something. But don't overwhelm yourself and have to change 30 things in your next video. Just slowly transition into better. The equipment you use doesn't really matter when you get started. Look, I had 2.5 years of doing another channel before I started this channel. Well, Nostalgia Unboxed.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Unless you're like trying to be a photography channel and you're doing all your photos on your phone. I know you can still get it good like that, but I don't know, that doesn't seem like the greatest combination. When I started on my reaction channel, I started using a Samsung Galaxy S10, I think. And then I was like, this isn't convenient. I hate having to transfer stuff back and forth. I had a microphone running through my laptop that wasn't connected to the phone because it was a proper mic. I had to figure that out. Then I ended up getting a webcam, which I had for most of my YouTube life. And even if you compare that webcam from when I first started using it to when I was using it by the very end, the addition of lighting, the addition of understanding the settings better, the addition of, you know, a whole bunch of stuff, it looks like night and day. And there's no change in my equipment between those times. Since then, I've now upgraded my camera again to the one that you're looking at right now, and that's the one I do all the action figure photography on and stuff like that. But that's 5 years into my journey, and, you know, Patreon is set up, and I've got videos out there that have done, you know, 50,000 views and 300,000 views for one of them. But at the beginning, smartphones are so goddamn powerful now that if you've got more to your channel than just the visual element of it, if you've got a lot of personality or information or whatever to share, then smartphone is more than enough.
Walk around outside and talk about their cameras. What if I did that with action figures? If you have the courage to take an action figure outside and talk about it out in the park and different places, then do that. Keeps the video way more interesting because you're changing locations all the time. It's like, wow, he's outside.
I mean, that's a very interesting idea. Definitely nor for me. Very clever, but nor for me. I would love to see if anyone starts doing that, though.
Hi, that's natural lighting. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. Natural lighting. Good point.
Watch videos on how to be better at YouTube, and then watch videos to learn how to do titles and thumbnails better. Find software that you can make thumbnails in.
Yeah, titles and thumbnails are really, really hard because finding the right words is incredibly difficult. You want to make it enticing. You don't want to make it sort of like vague either. You don't want to lose the trust of your audience by, you know, making it seem like it's clickbait or whatever. There's definitely a formula to it, and there are definitely ways to make things stand out. My thumbnails are terrible. I need to look into exactly what he just said. After this, I'm probably going to look up on Google about how to use more visual effects on DaVinci now that I've got the full version so that I can up my thumbnail game a tiny bit. And I do all my thumbnails in DaVinci as well. I don't use a separate thing. I just do it all at the end of my timeline in DaVinci because it's the quickest and easiest way to do it. And I make so many videos that time adds up. But with the figure channel, I started off with a thumbnail that I think I just had in mind, what are the names? Shartimus Prime and Anthony's Customs, I think. They have similar thumbnails where it's just white with the figure and then like text with their logo or whatever. And I was like, okay, two of the biggest ones are doing that. I'll give it a crack. I started doing that and it just never looked good. I'm not great with text and font, stuff like that. And it looked cluttered and it's just not good. Now I've basically just boiled it down to like just one really, really nice photograph of the figure that I'm talking about. Maybe with the custom logo of the character. I think I usually put the FWCI Collector's Edition logo on there as well because I think that that's an important thing to have as many places as possible. And I've simplified it. And even on my other channel, I've tried to really reduce the amount of redundant information that is in the thumbnail.
Good titles and thumbnails is so crucial because you're in a huge sea of people making millions of videos a day. How are you going to stand out? By just posting a photo with a bunch of text all over the place? No! You're not, okay? I'm constantly struggling with this. Like, it is...
Oh my god, what the fuck is all of this? Yeah, see, this is where I fall off. I do not have the time or patience to make, like, 5 thumbnails for the same thing. And it's a really... You know, I know this is probably going to make me sound like that's why nothing is working. But I really don't. I just don't have the patience for that. And I was never I was the kind of kid that I would finish a test at school and I'd be like, test done, here you go. And they'd be like, you've got 30 minutes left. Would you like to go and double check your answers? And even if I did go back to double check my answers, I'd just be like, yeah, I agree with all of this. That's why I ticked that. I don't know. I'm a stubborn person. But I can still acknowledge the fact that my thumbnails need a lot of work.
I'm always looking at different niches outside of action figures to find ways to do better with the things that I have. And I don't know, it's changed so many times over the years, and that's okay.
So this is his channel, Nostalgia Unboxed. Doc Unboxed. Oh, good. I mean, he puts his money where his mouth is. I can definitely see, you know, a very high level of quality and simplicity and intrigue in his things. Well, okay, so what are his titles? Let's have a look at these. Let's critique this man. The Almost Great Casey Jones from... Okay, so why is it almost great? All right, I get the hook. Is Michelangelo as the Mummy the best figure of all time? Perfection? Well, it says perfection with an exclamation mark, so you're burying the lead there. But I'm just joking. An honest review, Raphael is no thanks. All right, so that's, again, letting the audience know that there is a critique, that it's not just going to be a... Everything on this figure is great. You should buy it. All right, interesting. Is Leonardo as the Hunchback a work of art? We'll have to click on it and find out. So a lot of questions in his video titles. Is Doc Brown a worthy Back to the Future figure? I would say, and this is coming from somebody that has no right to fucking say anything, you could get more puns in that Doc Brown video for sure. Ronald Reagan, the actor? I'm just kidding. It feels a little bit dry, that's all. And Doc Brown, I feel like there's a lot of comedic opportunity there. The Neutrinos from NECA's TMNT animated line, Neutrinos Unboxed. Okay, and so there's no real hook in that one there, but the Neutrinos are incredibly... I mean, I've never heard of the Neutrinos, if I'm being completely honest. Is that from the animated series? Did I miss that episode? Is that late in the run? So he doesn't need to have a hook, because if someone knows who the Neutrinos are, they're probably going to be like, oh my god, the Neutrinos? What the heck is Auto T, NECA and Walmart Digital Collectibles? Yeah, what the heck is Auto T? I want to click on that. Alright, so I think I understand. He puts a lot of thought, and there's a lot of logic that goes behind his thumbnails and titles. Interesting. Something to definitely work towards.
Be willing to change, okay? Not only thumbnails and titles in your style, but the video styles and all that stuff. Stop staying in this one area that you think you're maybe comfortable with. I mean, or you're probably comfortable with. Get outside of that. Think, change, be different all the time. So that's a big thing for...
Be willing to change. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk about all the stuff from my previous channel, but there are certainly things that, you know, reactions that I would have done early days that I wouldn't do in current days. And that's because my audience has evolved and changed. And the audience that I have now are incredibly supportive, and they all get on Patreon and they're very active and things like that. So I didn't expect that I would do so much British comedy when I started the channel, but here I am, and it's working.
If you're starting out, to not get locked into a style, but for people that are already making videos, and there's probably some of you watching this, try something new, okay?
Especially if you've been doing it for a long time, you haven't really found the result.
What am I doing right here?
If you fall in love with what you're creating, the subscribers will come. They will, because they'll see your passion in your stuff and want to stick around. But if it seems like you're a robot on the other side of the camera, no one cares, okay? It's gonna be boring for them. Personality matters. And to find person.
Why is chasing subscribers mean you're a robot? I guess is he talking about people that just autopilot into like, share, and subscribe, da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, I get what he means by that. That's something that you hear in like every YouTube video. I definitely do it. My mindset on that is not so much about chasing subscribers, like desperately trying to get subscribers. It's more about like just reminding people, hey, if you haven't subscribed, do it. Like, you know, it doesn't cost it. It's more just a mental reminder, but I don't sort of have a whole spiel. I do on my main channel, but that's because I like to promote the Patreon as well, because that's the only way that anybody will ever know that Patreon exists. I don't advertise it during my videos or anything like that. Maybe I should. But I usually wrap up my videos with, but thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and go to patreon.com/FWCI to support the channel further. That's my outro spiel. So it's not so much a please subscribe, I beg of you. By the way, at the moment, I'm giving away... Oh, no! Yeah, okay, fair call. Fair play, glasses. Currently, I'm actually doing a giveaway to try and get to 1,000 subscribers, which that's a milestone goal. That's like one of the requirements for monetization for a channel. So that's why I'm putting a little bit of extra oomph behind that push to hit that target sooner. But yeah, I can see that on the surface that would definitely look like chasing subscribers, like giving a figure away. And full disclosure, the only reason I did that giveaway in the first place is because, and this really bugs me to this day, I got it like, man, we got it like 2 months in Australia before the States did. This is the Psylocke Thanos Gamerverse 2-pack. And I bought one for myself, and then I managed to get another one like a few days later. So I was sort of casually building the channel. I was just doing reviews at my leisure sort of thing. And then I got that figure and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is a great opportunity to get something out there that people around the whole fucking world are going to want to have, because like nobody's got it yet. And the problem was that I don't have an action figure audience on my Twitter. I don't have an action figure audience on my main channel. So I had like very, very poor social media interaction with it. Had very, very poor numbers on the channel itself, because I only had like 200 subscribers or something like that at the time. So in my mind, that prize was going to skyrocket. It was going to shoot me well beyond 1,000 subscribers, and I was going to get it out to somebody long before it was released in whatever country they lived in. And I just couldn't find anywhere or anyone that was willing to promote that giveaway. And I get it, people think that it's a scam and like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm sure you will and everything like that, which I take a bit of exception to, because I do have a public image on YouTube already. I'm not going to try and scam people with a fake action figure giveaway. For those wondering, it's still right here. It is still here. So that was like a real fail. But at the same time, I've never done an action figure giveaway in this form before. You gotta try different things. I wouldn't recommend giving away stuff as a way of like building anything, because that's a kind of a trade-off sort of situation. But you know what? We had a swing, and somebody's still gonna win this 2-pack. So make sure you subscribe, please. I'm begging you to subscribe. I'm begging you with all my heart. Then leave a comment, #give me Psylocke, and you'll go on the draw when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Back to you, glasses.
Even behind the camera. So I found that like, if I'm not in front of the camera as I'm doing right now, reviewing it, that's why I have 2 cameras, well 3, but 2 to record a review, is because I know if that thing's watching me, I have to be entertaining. I have to have the energy, the performance, the be the host, where if it's just this camera or something looking at then I find that I just kind of slowly, it becomes more of my thoughts as I'm talking about the thing. On this one, there's a particular issue. The paint has been chipped. And I forget about you guys. And I don't want to forget about you guys. So the camera is a reminder that the audience, you right there, is here.
So you're clearer speaking when you're looking up.
Put 5 of them up there at one time. Don't just start a channel and put one video out, because if people love what you're doing, well, they don't have anything else to watch. So it's going to be a little harder. But if you have like 5 videos that you posted one time, so this is like a month plus in advance you're planning this, now people can just keep watching your stuff. That's going to be better for you. The channel, YouTube's going to be like...
I mean, I think that's pretty good advice, but I think that advice will sort of get washed out as the weeks and months go on and you organically do upload. I don't know if there's anything to like algorithm health or whatever in terms of uploading on a regular basis, but I just try to get people into the habit of watching my videos around about the same time of the day. Because if you think about it, like, you know, people are getting home from work. There's, you know, in some countries they might just be like on the train to work. Some countries it might be 1 o'clock in the morning, like whatever it is. And I upload around about like 10 to 11 a.m. each day. And that's about like 8 or 9 o'clock, I think, in the UK. So I don't know whether I would say upload all of them at once, because then you don't have any new stuff to upload. And it's probably different in the figure space. Like the reaction kind of world is very, very high traffic and very, very like high output. And with the action figure space, like you could do a lot of output like that, but eventually you're going to be clutching at straws. So it's probably better to just wait for the timing to be right to make videos about action figures rather than really trying to like force something. But I don't know. I'm an idiot and I've got 928 subscribers currently. So what the hell do I know? But I would love everyone in the comments to share your thoughts on this, because you're the audience. You are the experts. You're the ones that know what you like and know what you don't like. So by all means, have a big old conversation about it down in the comments.
To do this stuff more successfully, watch this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Critiquing your toy review channel. 2 hours. Okay. That might be a video to queue up while I'm playing a bit of 7 Days to Die or something. Alright, I think that was all pretty sound advice. It was pretty realistic advice, big picture advice as well, and you can't tell somebody step by step, okay, first you need to buy this camera, then you need to buy these lights, then you need to do... Like, everyone's setup and everyone's, like, you know, space is going to be completely different, but I don't know, I ended up feeling pretty lucky with the way that I got my setup done, which, I don't know, might as well... Oh, this is probably going to look terrible. Green screen, deactivate. Alright, here we go. So this is my workspace over here. It's just a regular old desk, and the white on there and that light that is behind it, that's where I take all of my photos. I'm really looking forward to moving into a new house where the walls don't look like shit, so that I can try this method somewhere that looks much nicer. I really should have just put a sheet up there, but you know, it's a whole process. I don't want the wall to collapse when I do that. So I think I've kind of, you know, spoken throughout the video about my thoughts on that information and that advice that we got there. Thank you very much, Glasses. It was, I'm glad somebody's out there making a video like that. It's, you know, something that's just incredibly relevant to me and what I'm doing at this point. All right, so I'm going to go to my own channel here, and God, this is going to be embarrassing. When I went to my, what do you call it, my reaction channel, I'm pretty sure the first video I ever did was on there, and it started with, "Welcome back, everybody." The first words out of my mouth were factually incorrect. But alright, so this went up. I did a Scott Steiner review a year ago. So this was the first one. 26th of October, that's more than a year, that's 2 years ago. What are you talking about? So 2 years ago was when I did my first upload on there, and you can see that it's not that great. I've got a reaction channel, so I'm pretty good at skirting around copyright thing. Actually, this isn't too bad. I forgot I did this as a style for a while, where I'd kind of sit on the right-hand side of the screen and just have the pictures letterbox on the other side. I definitely prefer to take photos landscape now. Oh, except I made an absolute edit fail there. I didn't remove the second logo over the top. How did that get through? Jesus Christ, I'm better than that. But then I think it got a little bit different. I started just using photos. Oh no, I'm doing this on camera again. Trying different stuff. Oh my God. That's right. This is when I made myself tiny, sitting in the logo. What are your thoughts on this as an outlet? You wanted unique. There you go. There's your unique. So when I got to this point, I was literally just taking photos on my phone and then just uploading them, but they're terrible photos. Like, I mean, I say that now because of how far I've sort of come since then. Like, let's go up to something brand new. The Tarantino test. Oh God, the Tarantino test. So I'm starting to get the feel for the balance and posing and stuff like. So this is now filmed. Actual filmed footage, which again, using the new camera, it looks fantastic. I think this is using a macro lens. I'm pretty sure I used a macro lens for this. And I just, the way I set it up, it was very convenient to still be able to speak directly into the microphone as well. But visually, I think these videos look much better. I still have a lot to learn with the new camera in terms of like depth of field and stuff like that. So these photos are still not perfect. But I think they're a huge, huge step up from what I was doing before that. So I found that to be a very validating video, to be completely honest. It's nice to hear that pretty much everything that he said is what I self-taught myself to do when I was launching the first channel. And, hearing that sort of repeated in the arena of action figure reviews is, like I say, a nice thing for me to hear. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this video, on what Glasses said, on what I said, or who are your favorite review channels. What do you like about those channels? What do you not like about channels? I'm doing mostly Marvel Legends these days. I'm still a big wrestling fan deep down, but I know that those videos don't always do the best, but every now and then a wrestling review will pop up, but it's mostly Marvel Legends. So let me know what Marvel Legends channels, and Jada Street Fighter too. How can we forget about them? So let me know who your favorite reviewers are. I will not take it personally. I like the feedback. And please, I beg of you, subscribe. And go to patreon.com/FWCI. I'm begging! And as always, be well, stay safe, look after your figs, ta-ta, and farewell.